Hi there, welcome back to the Oracle Scroll. Today, we're talking about insight. Hello, Kevin Walder here, your host for the Oracle Scroll. And today, we're still working our way through this little deck that I've been playing with lately. And the card today is card number 22, Insight. I had to look down there to check on that number. 22. And the message is insight. What is insight? We all talk about being insightful or meeting someone insightful, reading something insightful. What is the meaning behind that word insight? Is it just an understanding? Well, yes and no. It requires understanding. Insight requires understanding, but it also takes it to a much deeper level. I kind of equate it to things that we might know how to do. In the art world, if you understand the mechanics behind a particular use of a brush or a particular use of texture or color, you understand why it gets done that way. But insight is going a little bit deeper and understanding what branches might be added to that in order to convey yet a different meaning. Or simplifying it even further, if you went to the kitchen using a recipe, you might understand how the particular ingredients create this fabulous result. But an insight would be able to tell, insightful person would be able to tell what they might add to it, or what diminishing one little item might do to enhance the experience, enhance the flavor. So insight is something that we're going to gain when we're doing meditation. Also, using our intuition is a perfect example of how to tap into our insightful nature. Now, those of you who have followed me for any length of time also understand how I talk about unlearning. And this is something I'm still in the process of developing this as a theory, but here it is. As we are born into this world, it is my contention that most of what we need to know has come packaged with us. The problem is there's no one available to read the instructions. There's no one available who can read the instructions. There's no one who will understand what it is that we as a child are trying to convey. Why? Because they're so busy trying to implant their mark on our lives and be able to show their personality shining through that they aren't paying any attention to the insights that we may be sharing. Look at a playground full of children. When you take a child to a playground for the first time and they're meeting people they've never met before, does their first reaction to critique their clothing? Or critique the way they've done their hair, or critique the way they are particularly doing at a game? No. Generally speaking, most kids are just excited to find other little kids, other little people who look like them, sound like them, and are interested in the same things they are. That's where their insight comes in. They are able to understand each other on a level that adults have a very difficult time overcoming all their differences in order to get there. So, these little people, these children, can be a perfect example for us to follow as we practice underscoring and understanding our own insights. Insight. It's amazing once we are able to grasp through intuition, meditation, When you're in a meditative state, in a trance-like state, and I can speak for myself, having had this experience of being in a total immersion, you're in darkness, you're in total silence, you're in a trance-like state, and out of nowhere, you have a sense of knowing. Something that has been a mystery or something that has been misunderstood by you for so many years suddenly makes sense, suddenly is clear, and suddenly is known to you on a level that you never, ever expected. That is an insight. Insights are made to be shared, so don't keep them to yourself. Once you have an insight, share it, because you never know how many other people are struggling to understand another insight that is connected to the one you have suddenly realized. The number on this card, Insight, is 22, which extrapolates out to a 4 numerologically. And the 4 is at a point when we have reached a spot where we can actually settle back and examine where we've been and where we project ourselves to be going. And the 4 gives us an opportunity to reassess, re-engineer, if you will, and pull things together so that we are actually in charge, once again, of the insights. And you know what, like the old saying goes, a watched pot never boils. Sometimes the best route to an insight is to quit looking. Stop looking for it, quit making it the focus of exactly everything that you do in a day, and understand that this insight is coming to you by way of your intuition, your higher self. Let's go see what we can do with insights today. Thank you once again for joining us for this episode of the Oracle Scroll. My books, Tarot for Lunch, Lessons from the Cards, and more recently, 22 Teachers, Healing Lessons from the Major Arcana, are both available on Amazon.com. Please check them out. They are very informative and helpful in learning and understanding the tarot. Also, please stop by kevinwalder.com, my website. You can book appointments for any of the services available at that spot. So stop by and take a look today. And most importantly, please subscribe by hitting the little red button down below, and also click the bell to make sure you don't ever miss an episode.